There's one story that belongs to every single one of us. It's the most universal, most fundamental journey there is. So let's begin. Let's take the voyage of a human life.
And this quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not really about the start and the finish line, it's about everything in between. That incredible, messy, beautiful world that we build from scratch. That's the voyage we're charting today.
So where does any great voyage begin? At the start, of course. And for us, for every single one of us, it all kicks off with one single crucial moment, that very first breath. Welcome to Chapter 1.
Just try to imagine that for a second. It's an explosion of sensation. That first gasp of air filling your lungs, the warmth of a human touch, the sudden sound of a voice. For a newborn, the world is a total blank slate, a vast, overwhelming new reality. And with that first cry, the story of a new life is officially underway.
All right, so after that initial shock of being alive, we cruise into the next stage, what we can call the formative years. And this is really a tale of two halves. You have the pure, wide-eyed wonder of childhood, and then the turbulent confusion of becoming a teenager.
Childhood. It's this beautiful, kind of simple world, right? Your best friend might literally be a patch of mud. Your most serious relationships are with your toys. And as you can see here, it's a world built on these universal moments, that mix of terror and excitement on the first day of school, the absolute joy of winning a prize, and yeah, even the sting of getting told off. It's all part of the blueprint.
And through all those little experiences, childhood teaches us what is maybe the most fundamental pattern of life. It's a lesson we will carry with us forever, and it's a simple three-step dance. You fall down, you get back up, and you learn something. See, resilience isn't something we find later in life. It's built into us from the very beginning.
But then, that beautiful simplicity, well, it gives way to something a whole lot more complex. This chart just lays it out perfectly. Childhood is all about making friends with the world outside. Adolescence, it's about wrestling with the confusion inside. Your simple dreams turn into this hurricane of overwhelming emotions, and instead of being guided by others, you're on this desperate search for your own identity.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it? Being a teenager is just this period of intense transformation, inside and out. Your body is changing, your thoughts are changing, and the entire focus shifts. It's not about understanding the world anymore. It's about trying like crazy to understand yourself.
Okay, so once we've navigated that internal storm, we enter the next big phase. These are the years of active construction. This is when we start to build our lives out in the real world, our careers, our families, our place in it all.
And wow, young adulthood. It doesn't just arrive. It kind of hits you like a tidal wave. All of a sudden, you're juggling college, trying to start a career, navigating love, and yes, the inevitable heartbreak. It's a time of intense competition for sure, but it's also filled with these small, brilliant victories. It's about finally earning a living, and for the first time, really feeling the weight of responsibility on your shoulders.
So, think about it. If being a teenager was about searching for an identity on the inside, this era is all about forging that identity on the outside. The main struggle becomes proving to the world and, let's be honest, to yourself, who you are and what you can do.
This all grows into what many people would call the most demanding phase of all. I mean, adult life is basically a masterclass in juggling. You've got your career, your family, your home, and, oh yeah, yourself, somewhere in the middle of all that. The focus really shifts from me to we.
But here's a really touching, kind of poignant truth. No matter how competent or grown up we become, deep down, that little kid from the early days is still in there. And sometimes, even with all the armor we build up as adults, they still get scared.
And so we drift into the next great stage of the voyage. The frantic pace starts to slow down a bit. All that building gives way to some quiet reflection. And the focus turns from just doing to understanding.
You know, it often begins with just a single, tiny moment of realization. You catch your reflection in the mirror, you spot that first white hair, and boom, it hits you. Time has been moving, and it has been moving really, really fast. That's the pivot point.
This slide is fantastic because it perfectly shows how our wisdom, our whole perspective, completely flips on its head. Look at this. The idea that money is everything? Yeah, that gets replaced. Friends aren't just for fun anymore. You realize true friends are your support system. Success gets redefined by family, and health, which we all take for granted when we're young, is finally understood for what it is, the real wealth. In these later years, life starts to feel less like a series of goals to be checked off, and more like a collection of memories. It's like a film reel starts playing in your head, replaying all of these pivotal firsts. And what's so important here is that every single one of these moments, the good, the bad, the victories, the failures, they all become a treasured piece of your story.
And after watching that whole movie back, a sense of quiet satisfaction can just wash over you. Not a perfect life, no way, but a life that was fully lived. A feeling of peace with the journey you took, all wrapped up in this one, simple, powerful thought.
And that brings us to the final chapter. But this isn't really about an ending in a sad way. It's more about a pause, a final moment of stillness that reveals the true meaning of the entire voyage. This final moment is described not with fear, but with this incredible, profound sense of tranquility. The struggles are over, the race has been run. And what's left isn't regret or pain, but just a deep, all-encompassing calm.
Just peace, a quiet resolution to a long, loud, and eventful story.
So what was the point of it all? This, right here, is the whole message. To live isn't just about breathing in and out. It's about the full spectrum of the human experience. It's to feel everything, to learn constantly, to love deeply, to make mistakes and be okay with it, and ultimately, to grow and change with time.
And so, we end on this one final, powerful question. After this entire sprawling voyage, from that very first breath to the very last, there's really only one thing that matters. Not how long did we live, or what did we accomplish, but simply, did we truly live?